Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about disrespect. And it comes in all different forms. But sometimes when somebody says something, what can be perceived as disrespectful can still be a hurtful truth. I'm going to talk about a story I seen earlier about something that happened in Miami. Shout out Miami. Over this weekend, where a man tried to kill his cousin over an argument that started over parking. And they're saying, you know, this guy who shot this man multiple times in his own home, this whole thing was about a parking spot. But honestly, I believe it was a little bit more, and you'll understand what I'm talking about when you see this news article. Take a look at this and we'll come back and talk about it.
Family drama almost turns deadly. One man now faces charges after police say he tried to kill his own cousin. The two men, police say, were fighting over parking. NBC6 reporter Christian Colon explains.
Elder Cruz stuck in jail for attempting to kill his cousin on Saturday.
So you were arrested for one count of attempted felony murder?
Records show Cruz and his cousin were fighting over parking spaces outside their home in Southwest Dade. The fight escalated when the victim told Cruz he doesn't know why he's acting so tough when your wife runs this house, a comment that infuriated Cruz.
He pointed at the victim's neck while stating, "Quieres ver? I want to see the tipo de hombre soy." What does that mean? What kind of man am I?
Cruz then started shooting.
"I'm gonna kill you, you SOB," and then fires 3 more times.
In total, police say Cruz shot his cousin 4 times, once in the wrist and 3 times in the thigh.
Stay at least 500 feet away from the victim's home, school, and place of employment.
The two cousins now forced to stay away from each other. In Miami, Christian Colon, NBC6 News.
Guys, there you have it. This man said some disrespectful stuff and it set the other man off, and all hell broke loose. So he shot him in the wrist and in his hips 3 times. Guess aiming for his ass where he wanted to put his foot for the disrespect. This whole thing, for me looking at this argument, seemed like he said, hey, when he challenged him and his manhood and his role in the house, that's something you don't do when you living with somebody. And that's the thing. You sit up here, this guy sat up there and said, I don't know why you trying to act tough because your wife run the house. That's something you don't say to a man. Come on. Come on, y'all. You know better. People get upset. They start saying stuff they can't get back. Craziness like this ensues. Was the guy right to shoot him? Nah, but he should have went in his mouth. That's my opinion. You in my house. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you think my wife run it or not, it's my house and you live with me. That's the thing. The guy lived with them. So if he can't act tough because his wife run the house, evidently she run you too because you live in the house. Now, regardless, they was arguing about parking or whatever, still, he can say whatever he want. The guy that got shot, the cousin, lived with them, if you really look at it. But sometimes when you say stuff, man, it make people see red because that's something you could have kept. Because listen, for that to affect him, part of him probably thought about that. That's just my opinion. Of course, things won't set you off unless you thought about them or they're true or it hurts you in some way because you feel a certain way about your present position in the household, whether it's the pecking order, so on and so forth. This guy that got shot, you know, he shouldn't have got shot. But like I said, that guy had every right to slap the shit out of him because he was disrespectful. But I mean, the simplest things throw people over the top. This is another perfect example of that. I don't know what make people feel as though they can be in your house and say whatever they want to say to you. And, you know, like I mean, he's told he can't go within so many feet, which is a stupid law. In some instances, because they live together. So how is that going to go? And then this guy got an attempted murder charge. An attempted murder charge from somebody setting him and pushing him over the edge. That's the thing. That's why, like, I would never live with another man, because when things come forth from the mouth, they can't be pulled back after they heard. And a lot of times when you deal with men in the house, remember, these are two males. Males are dominant. A lot of times it don't work out. Like if I ever had to get a roommate, it would never be a male. Even if it was a best friend. I had a best friend from high school. Me and him was like this. And we almost ended our friendship just because of the way we live. You know, like just the living arrangements of how he lived and then how I lived it, because he was staying with me in my house, how I wanted things to go. A lot of times, man, when people have, you know, a motive to build and have somebody living in the house with them, things can go array, because men constantly bump heads. That's why when you meet a man in public, you always come with a level of respect, because things can go left at any time. We see that in stories I do. Whether it's a formal or informal greeting between two men that come across each other's paths. Either way, this guy right here, I mean, they locked him up for shooting him, but man, I mean, what do you do? Seriously, in a situation like this, what do you do? I mean, he could have kept his mouth closed. And this is one of the things with men, like when you can't back down and you're in your house. If the guy said that and then he shut up, that would have really, I don't know. But anyway, we'll see how this thing goes. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You should never talk shit when you're living in somebody's house and your situation ain't no different than theirs, especially when you need them to survive living under their roof. That's just my opinion. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. One more thing too before I leave out of here. They repeated in Spanish. The guy said something to him, I guess before he shot him or after he shot him. And it translated to, what kind of man am I? So I don't know if he was saying like, you know, because the guy already challenged his manhood when he said all this stuff. So I don't know if he shot him. It's like, what kind of man am I after he shot him? Either way, the cousin, regardless of when he recuperates, he shouldn't be able to come back to that house. If the wife run the house like they say, this guy caused a confusement in the house, and it almost has like a driving wedge between the man and the woman. If this guy is insecure, which I don't know if he is or not, but I mean, that would set anybody off what this guy said, and he was wrong for that. I would tell the cousin he got to go. If the wife run the house, she can tell him, yo, you got to get the hell out. So guys, I just looked at an article that had a little bit more information, and I want to read something to you. It says, the fight escalated when the victim told Cruz he didn't know why he was acting so tough when your wife runs this house, the arrest report said. According to police, listen closely, Cruz pointed the gun at the victim's neck while stating in Spanish, do you want to see what type of man I am? The victim repeatedly said, don't do this, you're going to kill me. Cruz then pointed the gun at his cousin's wrist and fired once, causing a graze wound, investigators said. Look at what you did. You're going to kill me, the victim said. According to the arrest report, I am going to kill you, the suspect responded. Cruz then allegedly shot the victim 3 more times in his thigh. Cruz's cousin was able to get away and hide in the bathroom while Cruz's wife called police, according to the arrest report. Allegedly, the suspect kept banging on the door and threatened to kill his cousin if he didn't leave the house. Police said they took Cruz into custody, recovered a Glock 19 on his person with 3 additional magazines. The gun had been reported stolen in 2021 from Palm Beach Gardens. Cruz's cousin was taken to the hospital. More information on his condition was not immediately available. The 2 men are ordered to stay away from each other. That's what it is. See, I found that late. Talked all that trash. My man rose to the occasion. He ran in the bathroom screaming, hollering. That's the thing. Once you say something out your mouth, you got to be ready to accept what come with it. You know what I'm saying? Be it positive or negative energy, regardless of what you meant. That's a strong statement, and he got a strong response. Thanks for listening.